challenges that we did face back in the days. And I think what helped them craft the game was that a lot of people involved in Resynched today were already part of the game, the original back then.
Paul, so you were already a part of the team back then, right? So, you know, when you come back to a project all these years later, what stayed non-negotiable from the original vision, apart from the fact that, you know, I'm Kenway?
So, Matt, the one thing that was non-negotiable is the original story of Edward Kenway. We have never approached Resynched as a reinvention. Our goal is to carry John's vision forward. And today, we have much more room to do so since the game is engineered and rebuilt on Ubisoft's latest Anvil. It allows us to push dynamism, gameplay, immersion further while keeping the original vision and story intact.
Yeah, Jean, and you mentioned before how collaborative the original game was, and can you talk about that, especially with Singapore?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a absolutely team effort back in the time. And I remember actually in 2012, when we first came here in Singapore, meeting Paul and the team to do what we call the blueprint, you know, this week of hard work where the game really emerged from the preparatory work. And Montreal worked very closely with Singapore. Singapore built key parts of Black Flag. The naval gameplay was built on top of the Assassin's Creed 3 naval tech that was developed, you know, in some specific missions. But you were also behind a lot of places, locations, and gameplays, you know, like caves, underwater gameplay, forts, ships, and some major missions like the E3 demo that you worked on.
That's right. Right. So there seems to be like a real sense of continuity here, you know, not just in the game, but in the people making it. You know, one thing that really shaped Black Flag for me was how dynamic the scenes felt coming back to it for Resynched and shooting the mocap scenes in Toronto. The scenes just felt so dynamic, like the original game. And Jean, what was the intention back then, you know, when it came to all the cinematics?
So from the start, and it was a lot of discussion with Kama, the animation director back then, we really wanted the scenes to feel alive. You know, we wanted characters moving, interrupting each other, exchanging objects, you know, and reacting physically. And that sense of movement was really part of the game's identity, I feel.
Right. And when you rebuild a game like this, I guess that becomes a huge challenge, right, Paul? And how did you keep the spirit whilst trying to push it further with all of today's amazing technology?
Well, there are many ways, but to carry on the spirit of Black Flag, we always remembered one thing: to rebuild the game with the original pillars in mind, John's pillars and the original core team's pillars. But the most important thing was the story. Every single small moment in the game had to be rebuilt and crafted. And it took a lot of handcrafting, especially the facial animations. But that's important because that's the soul of the game.
You men are the pariahs of Charlestown, and I would profit better by using your organs for chum and your bones for char. By Christ!
And, you know, when you add new things to a game that people really know off by heart and they know it so well, the fear is always that the people might notice the seams, right? Jean, when you played it, what did you feel?
Well, actually, I felt like playing Black Flag, you know, and not even noticing where the original end was ending and when the new content that Paul and the team wrote was starting. And this is something really important. That continuity is very much essential.
You know, Jean, whenever we wanted to change or add something, we would always question ourselves, does this belong here? Would Edward do this? Would John get upset? And if the answer wasn't clear, we simply wouldn't do it. However, as we all know, no remake is complete without additional content. So we have added brand new chapters and brand new missions to the game, including a brand new scene with Edward's wife, Caroline, that's written by Darby himself.
Yeah, I remember playing it. Jean, so like there's something, I don't know, there's something deeper in Black Flag than just like pirate freedom, you know, and it's closely tied to the character of Edward.
Yes, absolutely. We really wanted to send a message also saying that freedom without structure doesn't lead you anywhere, right? And Edward's arc reflects that. He thinks everything will be granted, you know, that's the good life, plundering, etc. But then in the end, you realize that you lost all your friends. Yeah. Right? And so this is very important because he grows into someone that understands his own responsibilities and that makes him, like you said, very human.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I really leaned into coming back to the character after, more than a decade. It's the same Edward, but there seemed to be like, for me personally, from the scenes that were written kind of, as I said, more dynamism, but also there's a certain kind of weight to Edward's journey, I guess that with Black Flag Resynced, there are some really kind of important decisions to make, right, Paul? And how did you approach those?
So, Matt, with Resynced, we made a clear choice. It is a pure story-driven adventure, and we are fully focused on Edward's adventures in the Caribbean. As a result of this focus, we have elected to not have the multiplayer and not have the DLC. However, Resynced is built from the ground up with new story, new content, and new systems. But we're staying true to its action-adventure roots. Resynced is a 2026 take on the original legend. And for those of us who are curious, the original will still be available.
And Jean, so the modern day, right, that played a really specific role in Black Flag when it was released. And so can you explain how it fit the franchise back then?
So, back then in 2013, the present day reflected where the franchise was at. It was a transition moment, especially with Desmond's story and what it meant at the time. But now with Resynced, I think there were some changes were needed.
That's right. Today, the modern day has evolved. For Black Flag Resynced, we have approached it in a way that focuses on Edward's journey while still connecting his memories to the Animus. The modern day riffs in Black Flag Resynced will feature new moments that focus on Edward's internal struggles.
There's also something about Black Flag that I feel that, I don't know, people still crave what the game brought,
You know what? I think it's because it's a game full of light.
Yeah.
Yes, there is danger and violence, but everything takes place under the bright Caribbean sky, palm trees, seas, movement. It's very generous in a sense. And that sense of escapism has always been part of the game. And I feel it's very relevant in 2026.
Yeah, totally. And the other thing that the people, I feel, never forget, and certainly I never had, is the music.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. It's the music, especially the sea shanties. The sea shanties in particular have always been part of Black Flag's identity. For Resynced, we have kept the shanties that everybody loves, but we have also added new shanties that are connected to the story.
Time ago, everywhere was a long time and a very long time.
So today, we'd like to reveal a collaboration with an artist that's deeply connected to the Assassin's Creed franchise. And this artist has a special place in my heart because of his work on Assassin's Creed Revelations, Woodkid.
Woodkid. Ah, cool. Yeah,
That's cool.
That's great.
Hey everyone, Woodkid here. I'm in my studio in Paris now and I have great news for you. I'm back in the Assassin's Creed franchise, this time for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. The world of Assassin's Creed has been very important for me and very linked to my career. It started like 15 years ago or something. And this time, I'm very excited about what we've done. I know that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a game that's very important to all of you. It's a game about escapism, about rebellion, about exploration, and these are themes that are very, very important for my work. I've explored these themes a lot in my music. So I won't say too much, but I can't wait for you to hear what I've done for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
Having him return to the franchise, especially for Black Flag Resynced, means a lot to the team. We've been working on a newly reimagined track specifically for Black Flag Resynced, and we can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, right. And, music is just one of those things that the people remember long after they stop playing. I mean, I did. The sea shanties, I still play in my car now from time to time, and this game means a lot to you, and we know that.
Yeah, absolutely. This game means a lot to me, and I'm not saying that just because you guys are here. Just working on a game takes me back to 2012. and we all want the game to be the best it can be, and we really hope that you guys will enjoy playing it.
Yeah, so you entered the Animus for real.
That's
Back
right.
in 2012, yeah.
I mean, what a great thing, right? To come back to something, you know, more than a decade after, you know, and get to revisit and rebuild and reimagine this wonderful world. It's just been such a pleasure for me, and I thank you guys for bringing me back. Before we wrap this up, I've got a little surprise for you. All right, this is something pretty awesome. I saw it today for the first time, and I love it. So here we have an Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced Collector's Edition. It's so awesome, and inside is a really stunningly well-crafted figurine of Edward Kenway sitting there, slouched like me, really. And he looks really cool, and it's crafted really well. And inside, there's a notebook with all of like Kenway's diary entries and journeys about all of his adventures. And there's also a brooch and a cloth map, and then some goodies in there for everyone. So this one is really cool. It's the first time I've seen it today. And if you guys like it, then you're gonna have to get your own, because this one's mine.
You deserve it.
Thank you. No,
You're
but-
welcome to take it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. We can't wait for you to live or relive this thrilling pirate adventure with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. That will launch on July 9th, 2026. I just want to say thank you for all being with us today, and we cannot wait for you to experience it yourselves. Cheers.
Locked. What do you think you're doing?
No one goes in or out unless there's a problem.
I halt the machines. That door opens, and I have my route to Ferris. fly.